going to start off today with a review of Fast X, and I'm actually going to start off here just to give my quick thoughts, and we'll start off, I guess, with a synopsis, but at this point, like...
Yes.
it's
Family.
It's the same synopsis as the last 7 Fast and Furious movies. Basically, it's like there's car racing, there's girls booty shaking, and there's unrealistic action scenes, and there's more Hollywood A-listers than you would ever be able to count on 2 hands and 2 fingers that'll make an appearance for 2 seconds. But the quick synopsis: over many missions and against impossible odds, Dom Toretto and his family have outsmarted, outnerved, and outdriven every foe in their path. Now they confront the most lethal opponent they've ever faced, a terrifying threat emerging from the shadows of the past who's fueled by blood, revenge, and who is determined to shatter this family and destroy everything and everyone that Dom loves forever. So, obviously, this Fast X chronologically comes after F9, but it was Fast 5, right, Cam? You corrected me, because I thought it was, like, I get all the Fast confused, but Fast 5 is basically, like, the first 10 minutes of this movie is just, like, the end of Fast 5. So it kind of, like, picks up from basically kind of where that left off in terms of that's how Jason Momoa as the villain is introduced, because Cam, I don't know if you remember that guy's name off the top of your head, who, like, dies in Fast 5, who's, like, related to Momoa, but doesn't matter. It genuinely, truly doesn't matter.
No way.
Yeah, he didn't look like he had the answer anyways, but so yeah, Fast X picking up where Fast 5 left off. Cam's gonna need to figure out his mic, but that's okay. I actually had fun with this movie, and this is the first Fast and Furious movie I've ever seen in theaters, so I feel like some of it might be that aspect, because I've never been in a theater experiencing, like, the roar of the cars and the action and, like, a huge screen up close. But I had a good time with it, like, genuinely, like, I had fun. Hated it a lot less than I expected to. I know I'm, like, easily the highest of the 4 of us here on it. But I just thought, like, at this point, like, and I'm super low in the Fast franchise. Like, Fast 5 is my highest rated one, and that's, like, a 6 out of 10, which is, like, low compared to most people. But this right now is my 3rd rated Fast and Furious movie in terms of highest. I have Fast 5 and Fast 7 above it. But, yeah, I don't know. Jason Momoa is a super fun villain. I had so many, like, quippy one-liners planned for my Letterboxd review to start it off, but it had to, like, this movie had to be ass in order to use them, so I didn't get to use any of my, like, the whole movie I was just thinking of, like, little one-liners I could put in my beginning of my thing, but I was like, I can't in good conscience do that if I'm going to give it 3-star, because, like, at the end of the day, when I walked out of the theater, I didn't hate my time at the movie, and, like, I wasn't sitting there wishing it was ending, so, like, in good conscience, I couldn't rate it any lower than, like, a 3-star, just because, like, I watched it, and I was like, I'm, like, having a good time with this, fine time with this, like, dialogue is still atrocious, the plot is still super dumb. But honestly, like, so there's obviously, like, the craziest things ever in terms of unrealistic events that happen, but I still feel like as a whole, this might not be the most unrealistic Fast movie. I feel like,
I mean, they went to space in Fast 9.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like even though there's, like, literally insane moments in this, like, I feel like for a Fast movie, this was, like, kind of grounded a little bit. Like, they played Rocket League with a bomb in this movie.
Yeah,
so, like, but, like, I feel like for Fast and Furious, I don't even think that cracks top 10 of wacko things they've done. So they decided to keep it a little more grounded by only deciding to, like, drive down the Hoover Dam that's exploding at the end of this.
And then he's going to take on the water at the end of it.
Yeah. But yeah, I just, Jason Momoa is really the thing that sold it for me. It just looked like that dude was having so much fun with this. And before going into it, I saw people comparing his performance to, like, what Heath Ledger tried to do in The Joker. And, like, I, like, genuinely had no clue how the heck that was even going to come close to being a thing. But I can totally see where people get that comparison from. Like, he's clearly, like, he's a villain who's deranged, but he's very whimsical, and he doesn't really seem to be empathetic to anyone else in this movie. But I thought he did super well. You could tell he had a lot of fun. But other than that, you know, this movie is basically Avengers Infinity War, like, with how many cameos there were, which for me with this franchise is so stupid and dumb that, like, we have either 1 or 2. We haven't confirmed that we're getting 2 more movies. We either have 1 or 2 movies coming after this. And just give me all the people who've been in the franchise. Everyone, bring them back, and that's kind of what they're basically doing here. But we'll kind of break it up into spoilers, non-spoilers. There's not really anything to spoil here.
Yeah, I think we already... Can you hear me, by the way?
Yeah, you're back now.
I see my little blue box now, but I think we already kind of said some things that happened at the end. But
that's okay. I don't think anyone cares about having a Fast X movie spoiled for them.
Right, and, like, there's a couple things we'll save for the technical spoiler section, but yeah, I give it a 5.9 out of 10 for 3 stars. Just, I had a fine time with it. Like, it's one of those movies that I think is genuinely bad, but I didn't hate watching it, which is kind of like where I landed on, like, Black Adam. And another Rock movie kind of goes down that same thing for me. But I'm going to kick it over to George now because he's the lowest on the movie. So give us your thoughts. You saw it in Screen X. What's your thoughts on Fast X?
I hate like criticizing these movies because like I knew exactly what I was going into. So it's like, I gave like a 1.5. Like, fine. Like the movie was fun. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you I didn't have a good time watching it. Like there was some like decent action set pieces. It was just funny watching them go over the top again. And I do think Jason Momoa was great as the villain. I think that's the only reason my score wasn't lower. I like that he was this just super deranged, out of pocket man, but he's also like kind of intelligent and like knows what he's doing. Like he's getting shit done. But no, I don't know. These movies just don't do it for me. Like I got so many comments on my review where it's like, bro, just turn off your brain and have a good time. Like that's literally what I did, and I still didn't like the movie. Like I literally turned my brain off and watched this movie, and I still just didn't have like that good of a time with it. I think at this point, like if you want to do these like over the top action movies, it can't be the 10th movie in your franchise because like it doesn't work anymore. Like that, it fades. That that excitement for this bullshit just fades after a while. So I didn't really have a good time. I feel like this movie, more so than other Fast and Furious movies, like shoved the idea of family down our throats. Like I feel like
it really did, man.
It did like crazy. And I feel like the filmmakers were like, oh well, people love the idea of family, so let's just talk about it every single scene. And like it like bothered me like crazy. Like this franchise was never like about family. Like that's just a meme that came up. Like obviously it was about family, but like they never explicitly like kept mentioning family in like the first couple of Fast and Furious movies.
Rewatch them. They definitely do.
Do they?
Yeah.
I just don't remember. I just don't remember.
It's worse
being,
than
like,
I remember.
Down my throat this bad. Like,
it's not this bad, but they definitely do.
But I gave it a 1.5 or a 1. What did I give it? A 1.
I gave it a 1.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It sucked. I didn't like it. Sorry.
Seth, we'll turn it over to you. Who did give it a 1.5? Your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I'm coming at this from like an angle of I've only seen the first 4, so I have nothing to go off.
So you're happy with the 10-minute scene of?
Yeah.
So you're all in.
Yeah, you didn't even have to watch Fast 5 now because you basically got the 10-minute overview of it.
I didn't actually. Yeah, someone told the guy I went with actually told me it was Fast 5.
Damn, I saw that. That was adorable.
You saw what?
My son's down here.
Cam was just waving and smiling to his son.
Oh,
yeah, my son just came and sat down.
So yeah, I didn't like it. I mean, obviously. Do you know what? The first kind of half an hour, I was kind of having a good time. Whether that was the film's idea for me to laugh at it like that, probably not. But Vin Diesel is just the most unintentionally funny man ever. He's just so weird.
Sorry to cut you off. The scene where like Charlize Theron comes to his house and he like pins her to the wall.
It's so funny.
I thought they were gonna kiss.
He doesn't look real. I'm convinced he's not a real person. It's so bizarre.
I couldn't take it seriously.
It's when he tries to do
these
like
seriously anymore.
angry takes. It just.
I thought they were gonna kiss.
That
would have been great.
It just doesn't work.
I said in my like TikTok review that it's hard to take this many good-looking A-list people and just make it quite bland and boring for me because after a while it does get quite tedious. 2 hour 20. The first half an hour I was having a bit of a good time with because I was just like laughing at it. But then after that, it kind of just goes downhill and it feels like it's so erratic in these films. I don't know if it's like this in all the films, but it goes from plot point. And there's no space. It's always like something's got to be happening. Like we transition from I don't fucking know, Michelle Rodriguez and Charlize Theron fighting, whatever, and it goes straight to this car chase. And it's like there's no in the middle and stuff like that, and it's very much a headache at times. The laws of physics in this damn thing, man, are ridiculous. Like they are crazy. You got Dom Toretto picking up a car backwards with one arm. And then what are we doing?
Oh yeah, that I remember that.
It's crazy,
bro. When he's in the airplane awesome. And he gets in the car and like the back door opens, I'm like, he's good, bro. He's got this.
Yeah, it's like what are we doing? I've asked you guys this before, but I can't remember your answer. Have any of you guys seen Blue Mountain State before?
Oh yeah.
When I saw Fan Castle, I was excited.
I miss him. I miss him just like doing oil changes.
How handsome is that man?
He's
the
Ames.
I feel like he looks
ultimate-
overly tanned in this movie.
He looked
No,
no. I think it was the flashbacks where he looked way too tan.
was
I
the
think in
flashback. It
in
was the
present day
flashback,
it was
yeah.
okay, but in the flashbacks it was real bad.
He's like
Is
ultimate.
this the
Chad.
guy that like gave Brie Larson like the whole recap of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
whole?
yeah.
Okay.
Ultimate like Chad.
Yeah,
He's
he's
like-
that's a good
Which
looking
he
dude.
plays
Yeah.
a Chad and
He does.
Yeah, he is
A
Chad.
Thad.
He's a Thad.
plays
He's a
Thad.
Thad. Yeah.
I
God,
miss
you
him
should
doing
watch-
oil
God,
changes.
You should watch that shit, man. That's so
Yeah,
funny.
you'd love
know.
it. You'd love it, George. It's
Uh,
not
Is it-
good TV, but you'd love it.
It is
Is it-
quite. Some of them are quite like very funny.
There's a movie
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Right?
The movie is
The
terrible,
movie's
but I
bad.
love that shit, man.
Okay.
It's so funny.
Maybe I'll check it out.
But yeah, I give it a 1.5. There was, I can appreciate people fast. Oh, the drag race scene, they're fucking awful. Like they're just, I hated that whole.
They've gotten worse and worse.
This kind of whole female like dance, it's just so seedy and weird in early 2000s. Why are we still doing this?
I know.
It's
Every
so
time they go
weird.
back to that, I'm like,
I think they're trying to recreate the original match.
The vibe.
That's
Right,
what
they
they're
still
trying to
throw that.
recreate.
Yeah, they always throw in that original vibe for everyone. But
And
that's one of the things I kind of appreciated about this one was that it didn't really let you breathe with anything and just kept going action to action to action. Because I don't really think I want to see this franchise like take a breath and try and like give us plot points and like deeper development. Because I just think whatever they decide to do for that would just be so stupid. So I'm just like I'd rather just have them go action, action, action.
Yeah,
I think
I
most
do
people
think.
are the same with
I think the action, like, while it's not good, it at least keeps you. And you can maybe hear my son yelling. I think the action, while it's not good, you can at least keep you in the movie. Like I think I said this before. The night before I went to work on third shift, so I left at like second to third shift. So I left at like 3 a.m. ish. Got home, fell asleep by 4:30. I was up back at the office by 9:45 a.m. So I was like, I'm gonna fall asleep during this shit. I had a 9 p.m. showing. It kept me awake, and for that, I say great job, because the action like keeps you entertained at the very least, in my opinion. I said in my review, this is like just dumb fun. That's very, 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 very dumb. So it's not good, but a lot of the things that I have gripes with, I kind of went back to who gives a shit, because it's a Fast and Furious movie, and I don't think that gives it a pass. It's more just like I don't care enough. I don't care enough to get mad about it. Like I saw some people that were like genuinely mad. They went and saw it, and I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's to the point where it's like I wasted 2.5 hours.
It depends how familiar you are with.
Yeah,
doesn't
and
it?
I rewatched everything except Fast X. Or no, sorry, this is Fast X. I rewatched everything except Fast 9 and Fate of the Furious, so I didn't get to the last two.
Did you
But
watch
now my
Hobbs and Shaw too?
Oh, I guess I didn't get to Hobbs and Shaw either, because my rankings are all out of whack. This is my like 8th movie, and I dropped basically everyone I rewatched. I dropped a little bit except Fast 5, which I still really enjoy. But this is like my 8th in the rankings. I don't know if it'll stay there after F9, because I have F9 at like a 3 out of 5.
Sorry, Cam, go on.
No, you're good.
I will say that I quite like Jason Momoa at points. The guy he seemed like he was having a good time. He actually did make me laugh. And I do have a soft spot for John Cena and things. Don't know what it is.
I like John Cena.
But I will say, the girl that everyone's the one who was in Guardians 3, Daniela
Melchior.
Just hated her, to be honest.
No,
I thought she was terrible.
I was gonna say she was my second favorite in the movie.
No,
she was awesome. She was so much better than everyone else.
Brie Larson had awesome suits.
Okay, yeah.
You thought she was better than everyone else, Carl?
Oh yeah. No. I thought Brie Larson was miles better than everyone else for like the 2 scenes she was in. She's just like, I was sitting there watching. I'm like, she is a much better actor than everyone in this movie.
You know when she was speaking to Vin Diesel in like that bar?
Yeah.
The comparison between them is just
between the two. Yeah. And then I thought Danielle Melchior was like the second best in this movie. I was like, these are the only two that I would consider like very good actors, and everyone else is just kind of hanging out doing their thing.
It's at the point where I don't even think Vin Diesel's acting. He's
not acting. He's doing his he
is Dom Toretto.
You know those memes where it's like men will watch Joker and make it their entire personality.
He's Dom Toretto.
That's Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel is a part of Fast and Furious. That's his entire personality.
He's Dom Toretto and Groot. That's like his two things, isn't it?
One of my biggest gripes with this movie, right before we get into spoilers, is that basically everyone in this movie is sidelined except Dom Toretto. And I had this question, and I don't know if it's what's the word I'm trying? Disrespectful, but I'm gonna ask it just to see. Where do you think we'd be right now in this franchise if Paul Walker were still alive? I feel like Paul Walker I think it would have been done. I think it may have been done, and I think Paul Walker kind of kept it a little bit grounded and better movies.
Did people like him, like his performances?
No,
I don't think anyone likes his performances, but I think I like him in this.
People like his character, but like no one's ever.
I don't really remember. Like, I only remember that one line. You know what line? Forget about it. Forget about it.
Yeah, that line is so.
That
funny.
Ruined him. That line, honestly.
I think he was generally people's like favorite in this.
I think he was character. For sure. Yeah. Also, really weird that they had Mia in this and not Paul, and they just didn't like.
Which one's Mia?
Mia's the sister that he's married to, and in like Fast 7, their like explanation is that he like quits this life and goes live with Mia and their son, which is super weird to bring her back.
Yeah.
At the end.
Yeah.
No, she was in the start. She was at the She was at the like lunch.
Because like John Cena went to like her house to like take the kid, and she's like, "Oh yeah, your dad's at work." But
Seth, you haven't seen Fast and Furious. They didn't kill off Paul Walker's character.
No. They didn't.
No, they do the see you again.
Yeah.
I wrote this.
Was that the point of it?
Genuine.
Where it split up, so he's like driving away from it.
Yeah. It's genuinely one of the better like character send-offs.
What film
was
that?
In the movie. Fast 7.
Furious.
Which
Furious.
by the way, sorry. This is a Furious 7 fun fact that I made up. I don't know if it's true, and I don't believe the Fast and Furious writers to be smart enough to make this true, but Furious 7 is just Furious 7, right? And in that movie, Vin Diesel is like, this time it's not just about being fast. And so that's the only one in the title that doesn't have fast. I don't think the writers are smart enough to do that, but that's something I picked up on. So there you go. There's my fun fact.
James Wan directed it?
Yeah.
James Wan, yeah. He did pretty well.
Not why it's one of the better ones for most people.
It's my favorite of the franchise. So
yeah, it's my number 2.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
All right, we can get into spoilers. I'll be right back. So,
are we even getting into spoilers?
Yeah, I was just going to talk about some of the big things. So, like, namely, first off, the thing I'm most excited about for Fast 11 is to see how they're going to explain how Tej and all the people that were in that plane. Like, I can't wait to see the story of how they actually survived that, because like at the end they're all in that plane, and then they bazooka rocket like one of the engines and it crashes in the mountainside. I can't wait to see like they have like an ejector seat because there's no way they died. Like they would have made it much more dramatic.
No,
so I can't wait to see what ridiculous
out of the plane.
Yeah, they just drove like a car.
Honestly, that could be an explanation. I love George. I don't know if you picked up on this like super minor cameo in the airport. Did you pick up on that? So when John Cena's walking the airport with a kid and he has like the big. Look like
21 Pilots.
Yeah, he runs and Debbie Ryan, like who's his wife.
Yes, I said that to my friend immediately. I was like, there he is.
Yeah, such a weird random cameo. So it's the drummer of 21 Pilots and his wife, who's Debbie Ryan from the Disney Channel. But yeah, they literally like I think they might have one line, but basically like John Cena bumps into him, and I think the guy was like, "Watch out," or like, "Sorry, man," or something. And then they're gone. It was just real quick.
Yeah, it was such a weird. I mean, is he like a huge Fast and Furious fan or something?
Yeah, I don't know, because like there was no 21 Pilots songs in the soundtrack or anything. So I don't know. I guess he must just know someone in the production or something, and they were on set one day. And they're like, "Yeah, sure, I'll be in the scene." But
so funny.
John Cena though is like a guy. So there's obviously dozens of Hollywood actors that are like beyond jacked, like like the Rock type standards. But something about seeing John Cena, he just seems like a different level to where like he always looks like he's about to burst. Like his arms are just always look like they're gonna explode.
I think he was I think Thad Castle was like the guy who just was so much bigger than everyone.
Yeah,
he's like big though. John Cena looks like he has a permanent pump all the time.
Yeah.
Did you see Thad Castle's? Sorry, whatever his fucking name was. He's Thad Castle.
Yeah.
His arms in his polo.
He was huge.
Although that man had no legs. He had some time.
John Cena has no legs either.
Did you know? Okay.
I think it's
John
just by
Cena's-
comparison, it's hard to have legs when your upper body's
big.
juice that big.
There is. Just train them just as much, and you'll be fine.
That's just so
There
funny
you go.
though. Like that, he like literally he carries a plane onto the plane. He just carries it as a
Jokes.
carry-on. So
That was
so
awesome.
unreal.
Am I-
Am I stupid for legitimately thinking that was a kayak?
No, I
Dude,
did.
I
And then
did.
when
Too.
you pulled
I
it
thought
out,
he,
I was like,
I thought he was
I
just
think-
literally like they were trying to make him seem like he was some like granola outdoors, but I
Yeah,
literally
yeah,
thought he was just like, I just
same,
need a
same.
kayak everywhere I
The
go.
entire time, I'm like, wow, they're really playing into this father-son on a
Yeah,
camping
yeah.
expedition thing.
And then
He
so
pulls it out. I was going, what is he about to pull out of this motherfucker?
I already mentioned that this was like Avengers Infinity War for Fast X because everyone comes back. So we have obviously Charlize Theron's in this movie. We have Gal Gadot, who makes an appearance at the very end.
Oh.
Time out. Can you hear me? First
Yes.
I don't see my little blue box, so I never know. I completely forgot she died in Fast and Furious 6. I texted Tyler and I was like, shut up, you're not gonna watch these. I texted Tyler because I was texting him during this movie, and I was like, when did she die in F8 or F9? I didn't get to watch those, and then I'm like, oh shit, she died when Han died. They just already brought Han back, but they didn't bring her back yet. So it's just so dumb, man.
I said,
no one dies in this thing.
And I don't know if this is fucked up to say, but I said this immediately after to my friend who I saw the movie with. I go, they kill off everyone and bring everyone back. But the one person, the one character that they probably should have killed off, they didn't, and they're never going to bring him back for obvious reasons.
I don't know if that's fucked up to say, but I think I put this in my review. I genuinely think that's one of the best character send-offs for Paul Walker. Like, it was so good.
It was great. It was
That
great.
makes that movie.
But like, it's funny that like
All these characters are dying and coming back, but the one character, the main character that's still alive, you want me to believe he's just dipping for good?
And that's like what I feel like retroactively is the point in the series where since so many people come back that like you think are supposed to be dead, it's almost like jokes on us at this point because it's like, come on, like one of the main actors literally died in real life and they didn't kill him off. So how could we ever expect they're actually going to kill off these characters in the movie? So Gal Gadot returns. Obviously, the post-credit scene that pretty much everyone had spoiled for them before this movie came out, which was wild.
There was a post-credit scene?
Yeah, there was a post-credit scene, but it
It's,
was spoiler basically everyone. It's just that The Rock has come back to the series, which was kind of crazy. How, like,
Again, I kind of liked it though. I liked this post-credit scene.
No, like I
know.
texted this to Cam. I was like, Cam was like, "Wow, there's so many cameos and new people coming back. It's crazy." I was like, "This franchise is so dumb and overbloated that like if we're gonna have a finale, just go out with a bang. Bring every person back, every A-lister that's ever been in these movies. Bring them all back, which is what they did. Because I don't know who am I missing, Cam? Who else came back? Gal Gadot, The Rock, Jason Statham. Jason Statham.
Which, by the way, I know you said Jason Momoa is the best villain. I love Jason Statham in this. I don't know if it's just I love Jason Statham, but I think he's so fun in these Fast and Furious movies. I don't know about who came back, but another big thing about this movie is, or not this movie, this franchise, everyone has a sibling. Everyone has a sibling. So Jason Statham is the sibling of the villain in Fast and Furious 6.
Mm-hmm.
Jacob, John Cena's character, is a sibling of Dom, obviously. In this, we get Daniela Melchior's character, who's the sibling of Elena, who was Dom's like love interest in Fast 5 when Letty died off or whatever, and then she got killed in Fast 8. Jason Momoa, obviously the son of the villain in Fast 6 or whatever. I think there's more, I'm certain of that, but everyone's a sibling, man. And I don't know if there are any cameos I'm missing, but there's so many of those where they're like, hey, I'm your brother all of a sudden. And the grandma is the grandma of Dom. And this is something I mentioned. Fuck that. She wasn't around for any of this shit. She's given a speech about how this family's been together through so much. You weren't around. You don't know what this family's been through. You don't know any of these people. Get out of here. That was great.
Was Jason Statham a villain and before?
He was Fast Furious 7's villain, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And also every villain's good now. Cypher and Letty are friends. Shaw is a good villain. Jacob was the villain of Fast 9 or whatever. Like, everyone's good now. Jason Momoa is probably gonna like become a family member by part 3, and then who knows, man.
I'll freak out.
The drag racing scene. The drag racing scene. This just felt so out of place too, because like So there's always gonna be like a race with the villain in these movies, but
Of
like
course.
Jason Momoa seems like the biggest baddest in terms of like just pure destruction and death and just disregard for human life. So it just seems weird that they just like tone it down in the midst of all that and be like, let's have a quick drag race, and then of course he
No.
kills
Well, they all
tries to
shoot-
kill everyone with bombs in the middle of the race. Like obviously he's
They
gonna do
all,
that.
this is a very classic, and this happens in every Fast and Furious movie. It's like, because at one point, it's something about the streets or whatever, and so they all point guns at Dom, and then all
Oh,
the
that's
people
so funny.
guns at Jason Momoa, and
That
it's
was
the same
so
thing as like,
funny.
is it? Which one is it where he stomps the garage?
That's
Tyler, is that Fast Seven? Yeah, it is Fast Seven.
Yeah,
Yeah,
where he's like,
where he's
one
like,
thing
you mess
about
with
the
the streets.
Yeah.
Which, and then again in this one, and I made this is the first movie in a while I've taken notes, and they're fun because this dude's an absolute, like, this movie's just so stupid it's fun to take notes. Dom is always making, oh my shit, my kid just stood up for the not first time but on his own for the first time. Sorry, that is a big parent moment. Good job, bud. Good job.
I mean, obviously it's gonna happen when we're talking about the biggest family
That's
movie of all
so
time.
funny.
Yeah. Sorry, but Dom always is making people fight for him in the streets. In this one, it's against Ames. And then they just get the shit kicked out of them. And I'm like, God, I would stop fighting for this guy.
I'm eagerly waiting for Cam's son to start walking around and Cam to freak out right now.
No, he just stood up. Good job. All right. Y'all, Ludacris is awesome. That's all I got a couple other notes.
Oh, the running joke about what was the running joke with Ludacris and the other guy? What's his name? Tyrese. There was one running joke.
Being a
going,
leader?
Actually,
Forehead.
maybe it was the being a leader. It was like the money thing. Either way, just the whole. I think Roman is hilarious.
I didn't like the girl,
I do not think Roman's funny.
Which girl?
Which girl?
the English one. What's her name?
I don't know any of their names except Dom Toretto.
The English
Oh, she's the
girl,
girl
the
from
group.
Game of Thrones. She's the girl from Game of Thrones.
Oh, she's like Melisandre.
Yeah, she's
The friend, the
she's
one who
the
hangs
smart
around
one.
with the-
I don't
Who
know
has-
her name.
Who, by the way, I took note of this, has the best line in the movie where all of a sudden she knows stuff about cars. And she says, "Oh, that's right. I know stuff now." Because in the previous two movies, she's just this like expert. She created like God's Eye or whatever, but now she knows about cars. My kid's crying, so I'm gonna mute.
It's because she's a part of the family now.
Yeah, maybe. Was she in the first ones? I don't remember.
She was in 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
But yeah, I don't really have any more thoughts for this movie. Like Cam said, I do think a lot of people got sidelined, especially like Brie Larson was just so wasted in this movie. Like she had just like 2 random scenes, but at least they gave her like super fly drip for both her scenes. Like when she had like that blue suit with like the like diamond shoes or whatever. Like she was always looking fly, but she barely got anything to do.
Shot. She had the action sequence as well, though. At least she had one of those.
Yeah. I just feel
The
like
fight scene.
when she was like announced that she was joining the franchise, people were like expecting more from her.
Because she's a big name, they have to push
Right.
her so much.
But then again, like this movie just had so many people come back and so many cameos with like Pete Davidson being
Oh,
in there that it's
Pete
just like no one
Davidson,
really was
yeah.
able to get much life or get much runway except Dom Toretto because there just was so much, and John Cena got a big part in this. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. Rocket League's scenes and just
Yeah, shout out Rocket League. I love
Yeah.
Rocket League. My
What's up,
one
George?
question is,
or
Oh,
Cam.
was George gonna ask?
I
something?
didn't see who was coming.
My one question is, are title cards of locations being overused now?
Yes.
Yeah. Is
I
that-
didn't like the font. I
that's the
really
big-
hated it.
That's the
I
big
don't-
new
I
thing.
don't mind it if this is like in a movie like this where they are going to
This
a
one
million
needed it.
different spots.
They were freaking. They traveled the world so
Yeah,
fast and so
they
often.
went
This.
everywhere.
I mean, put them small and in the corner. I don't like how they.
Yeah, that's
I don't like.
fair.
I just don't like the
I
presentation.
almost
of it.
instead of like a title card scene of like the city, I would rather have the cutscenes be like a quick world map with like colored dots and say like the names of everyone. Because I feel like everyone was kind of like shifting continents and countries because they were like
Zoom out
they were in
and go into
Brazil,
where
they
they
were
are.
in Rome, they were going everywhere. Like I was
At
like,
the bottom left of the screen, there needs to be a map, the entire movie with a pin of where every single character
It
is.
stays on the screen.
Just
honestly,
stays on the screen the entire time.
yeah.
And then last point that I want to mention, and this is just a prediction, but I guarantee you by the time this franchise is over, we're getting the quote. I wrote it down. not only are we fast, but we're furious too. And that's going to be some sort of quote.
I would hate that.
Probably.
I would hate that so much. Or it's gonna end with Vin Diesel being like, "We've always been fast and furious." There's some stupid shit like that.
Whatever this franchise ends off with, the final like 3 minutes is just going to be a voiceover by Vin Diesel. It's just going to be some of the corniest, most ridiculous shit you ever heard. But you know what? Everyone in these movies are making their bag, having fun with it. So
that's true.
whatever.
They are making their bag.
And no one
I
had
didn't
more
realize
fun
how
with it
much
than Jason
money
Momoa.
they put into these.
They got to make it.
I mean,
they
they make a lot of money.
340 million for this film.
Yeah,
That's crazy, man. I didn't realize how big they were.
yeah, and
Who knows?
it's Fast and Furious at the end of the day. Ridiculous movie, action nonstop, basically 2 hours and 20 minutes without letting you breathe. In terms of there's just no real time to let you sit with anything. I liked it more than most. I gave it a 3-star. Cam gave it a 2-star, I believe, and then Seth gave it a 1.5, and George gave it a 1. So we all were different on this one from varying levels, degree of disdain. But we'll wrap it up there with the Fast X review.